feel excited. Even though I was terrified in the morning, I was like, oh my God, I didn't have time to sleep. I was traveling for the last week. What I'm going to do, what I'm going to talk about. But I have to say, I'm really happy to be here. I'm very delightful, as my mentor would say, to be here with you. And why did I came here today? I came to share my burning desire, to share with you an information and an idea who truly worked for me. It truly changed my life. And I truly find it fascinating because of that. Because I could go from like very low self-esteem to be actually able to stand here in front of you, which didn't happen before. And not to mention many other stories that brought me here. But what I realized, we all are the same. We all have different programmings from our childhood or society or who knows what else. And we start functioning from those programmings. The idea is like with this information, want to come back into present moment and to start realizing who we are truly. Yes. I don't think so.
This is a little mic. It's for the video button.
No?
Could you?
So thou shalt. Or if you want, like we have two chairs here with someone from the back could move forward. Speak out. Okay, I will be loud. I never happened to be loud before. You know, that's another programming of mine from childhood. I used to be very quiet, so that affected my speaking. So today I'm going to be loud and stand out. Okay, so what would you like to know today? What did you came here for? Because we all have our reasons. So what is your reason?
I came to find out a deeper understanding of my strengths.
Awesome. Anyone else?
To learn how you overcome challenges and came to your success where you now.
Lovely.
For the weaknesses, which I might be having but I didn't know, and in that way, knowing myself better.
Okay, so you're looking to look at your weaknesses. Okay. Anyone else?
To learn something new.
Lovely.
Explore the possibilities.
Lovely. I love that. As you can see on my slide, I believe in possibilities. Regardless of where we are, what challenges do we face, it's always another way. There's always another possibilities which we haven't yet explored. We just have to allow ourselves to give ourselves permission to explore that possibilities. And in order to do that, we have to release all the resistance that we might have in order for us not to access that. What is your belief? What do you believe in?
I believe in people. So far they are my energy and source of energy. That's what keeps me
Lovely.
moving. Yeah.
Lovely. Anyone else?
One day at a time.
One day at a time. That's great. One step at a time. We can't grow overnight. It cannot happen overnight. Very good.
So I believe in myself.
Lovely. That's a great point because not many of us believe in ourselves. We believe in tools, we believe in processes, but we don't believe in ourselves. And what happens when we don't believe in ourselves, regardless of how amazing the tools are, we're not going to be succeeding because it's up to us to make those tools to work for us. Anyone else want to say?
I believe in the people who are with me even if they don't believe in themselves.
Lovely. That's a great point because sometimes we do need that, someone to see that greatness into ourselves, which we cannot see it ourselves. And if we can be that support to that person, we can help them grow. Now, let me tell you my motto. My motto is that nothing happens by chance or coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. Everything has a higher purpose in it, regardless of the experience we're facing, regardless of the struggle we're going through, there is a higher purpose. We just have to acknowledge that higher purpose and to take up action upon it. And as well, I believe that if an information wasn't for us, it wouldn't have reached to us. It wouldn't reach to our awareness. That person that delivers the information, it wouldn't come to our way. And it happened to me several times where I would hear about an information, I would be like, wow, that's so cool, but I would not do anything. And then I hear it again from a different source, and then I start looking into it. And if I don't choose it then, definitely the third time I must choose it, because it's definitely for me. I just didn't or wasn't willing to choose it in the first place. Now, would you like to know a bit more about my story? What brought me into this field? Okay, awesome. Okay, so today you see me here, very joyful, very smiley, very positive, very confident maybe. However, I wasn't always like that. As I said, like I had my own programmings, I had my struggle and hardship, which was my reality. And I functioned from that reality for a long time. I was born and grew up in a poor family in Romania. I didn't fall love, even though my parents did their best to be for us, but I didn't see it as that. As a child, you can't understand their struggles. You realize way later that somehow we have chosen that reality for whatever reason, to grow, to learn, to be the contribution to others. But at that moment, you don't realize that. So I didn't fall in love, and that made me not feel wanted or good enough. And that created a reality where I had to prove on myself that I am worthy. I had to make myself to fit into other people's reality. I was pleasing everyone and not myself, because I wanted to have that sense of belonging. Another situation was that my dad was aggressive physically and verbally. So that made me become that quiet person who's not opening her mouth, because I didn't want to create that conflict. I wanted to create less conflict or avoid if it's possible. That was one part of a struggle. Then moving away from home, I moved to the capital, where another different kind of struggle started. I was struggling financially because I was working, going to school, to the university. I bought myself an apartment because I wanted to be independent. I didn't want to have the same reality as my mom, to function from no choice. I wanted to be in charge of my life, of my decision, and all that. But again, if you come from that place of lack, you can't create to greater, because you're still functioning from the same condition. With relationship-wise, it didn't work. At work, it didn't work. Like, I chose to go to study finance because I thought if I'm going to work in a bank, I will have the possibility to earn a good income. But that was a choice that I done it based on a decision and based on a conclusion. It wasn't a choice that I made based on awareness of what could be possible and what could create greater for me. I was thinking of study psychology, but I thought, like, who's gonna look for a psychologist or something like that? It wasn't known as that. And it reached a point in my life where I really needed a change. I was struggling financially. I was struggling with my work. My salary was very low. I needed a change badly. And that opportunity came. The opportunity came through a job, which was a air hostess for Emirates Airline, which I'm still currently working for, hopefully not for long. But I took the opportunity. But again, my confidence was very low. It was minus, not a bit there. So I had to fail many times in order to successfully pass the interview. I think I had to go 7 times. Most of us maybe would just give up or for something else. But I was so determined to make that change happen that it didn't matter the rejection, I kept going. And I finally succeed. I moved to Dubai, life started to be a bit better. I started traveling, which I never dreamed about. I saw places that I never thought I could see. I didn't even know it exists, but I had the chance to see them all. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity. But again, it was a point where it wasn't enough. I was still looking for more because I wanted it more. And I realized that I've always known that something else is possible, even when I was a child and I wasn't facing good times, I always knew something else is possible. Even though I had thoughts where like, oh, I wonder if a car would hit me, would they miss me? But the thought of something, yeah, I did have that one. But the thought of, I wonder what else is possible was stronger and it pushed me forward. And as well, like when I had the struggle with the bank and the job and all that, I had a sense of a brighter future. We all have those insights. We just have to start being aware of them and trust them because they are signals from the universe, from a higher power. Ah, lovely. Hi. It is on. It doesn't, right? It's not working. Okay, I'm going to keep shouting. Is everyone hearing me? Is it?
Yes.
Where was I? No, it doesn't.
Bring it closer. Closer. Yeah.
How close? Awesome. Um, Where was I?
That all of us are in that very position where we self-doubt. You've been in that place, but you knew that there is a bright future right there.
Yeah, you just have to follow that instinct. You just have to follow that gut feeling that you have because it's always there, always guiding us. We just have to tap more into it and trust it because most of the times when we face those situations, we can't see it, we can't feel it, we cannot accept it as real. We might think that, oh, maybe it's just my imagination, maybe it's just something that I desire to happen, but you don't really believe it could happen. And the idea it is possible. You just have to trust more and more in it and just follow it. And that brought me to coaching or healing, whatever you want to call it, because I find it is important for us to release all those programming, all those conditions, all those limitations and self-doubt beliefs that we have in order for us to create greater. Because we might reach where we would like to reach, but it will take us so much longer. We just want to go there faster because we know it is possible. We just have to trust that and take actions upon it. And I will move on with the slides, maybe. If we have. So these are a few pictures that I put together from different stages of my life. And you can see the change and the transformation out there. This was my first holiday, which was in 2005. There was the first time I went abroad. And if you can see, I'm not very happy. Even though at that time I thought my life was okay. And it's okay what I'm experiencing because I didn't know otherwise. But every time I would go deeper into the change and the transformation, a new, brighter version of myself would come out. We just have to trust that and acknowledge that there's always a greater way to go forward. So today, beside the fact I'm still a traveler, I am a speaker, as you can see me today, a coach, and a healer. I help people go through their struggles, and because I've been there, I know what it is, and we all need that support and empowerment to move forward. What do you think about that? Do you sense that greatness within yourself? Do you sense that it's a greater power within yourself that is waiting to be unleashed? Lovely. Because there is so much more potential within ourselves. We just didn't know it, we didn't tap into it, we didn't acknowledge it. We just have to get deeper and deeper into our being and start acknowledging who we are. Start acknowledging our abilities and our capabilities, our gifts. Because we are all here with a greater purpose than we think we are. We're not here just to go in a loop, go to work, come back home, go to family, and that's it. We have all a greater purpose. We just have to identify what that purpose is and follow that and start creating based on that. Now, what percentage of your potential do you think you are currently using? Ooh, amazing. How does it get any better? Anyone?
60%.
Lovely. I think you do a bit better. Anyone? 100%. Wow, lovely. Anyone else? Very small percentage. That's okay. It's always way to get better. It's just acknowledging where we are, because if we don't acknowledge that and we are not truthful to ourselves, we cannot take steps in order for us to improve ourselves. I know I'm not 200. I know I have longer until I get there, but I am doing the work every day. I am improving myself every day. Even today with you here, I am taking steps towards something greater. And I'm willing to take those steps. And that's okay. The idea is like there are ways that could help us to actually tap into that potential that we have and create greater. Do you recognize any of the pictures? Have you ever been in any of those situations ever before? And if so, you can point which one of them? All of them. All of them in different stages of our life, right?
Except the one in the middle.
Except the one in the middle. Same, same. All the rest, but not the one in the middle. Yeah, so why do you think it's happening that? It's life, right? We get overwhelmed. We get overwhelmed by our thoughts. We get overwhelmed by our work, projects, deadlines. We are planning to create a business. We are planning to create our entrepreneurship life. And we are facing different challenges. We go through an emotional breakthrough. We are stressed and all that. This is normal in this reality. So no matter how much we try to avoid it, at some given point, we're going to go through that. The idea is like, how do we get out of it? That's the most important thing. And we all know how it is to not have clarity, when your thoughts just go round and round. And the more you think, the less clarity you have. And I've done a research, and it says like our mind has somewhere between 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. That's a huge amount. How do you do with so many thoughts a day? How do you get out? How do you have clarity? And what is interesting that 90 to 95% of those thoughts are repetitive. They're the same thoughts that you have the day before. So if those thoughts were self-doubt or negative or whatever, you perpetuate those thoughts on and on. And actually 80% of those, they're actually negative. So we have to clear up our thoughts as often as we can in order for us to have better clarity and better focus. And what I would recommend you today is this new and amazing technique, which is called access bars, which I truly, 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 truly love it. It makes me feel really great, beside the facts of what it does to the subconscious mind. So it helps you to quiet your mind, which is something which we hardly can do on our own. There are people who are practicing meditation, but how many of you do practice meditation here? How does it work for you? It's not working. Amazing. I like that.
One more thing to think about.
Yeah. The idea is like the more you think to clear your mind, the more you think to stop your thoughts, the more thoughts are coming in, the more frustrated you get. And instead of getting peaceful and calm out of the meditation, you came even more frustrated because you didn't know you did it right or not, it's something wrong with you, it's not working for you. So this is a very easy way. You just lay down and you just receive. Your body gets that nurturing, you get calm, you get peaceful, you have that clarity, you have focus, you have energy, you name it. Our mind is like a computer. So our mind has all the data from childhood or any other time. So we have to clear all those data who are not functioning from us anymore. It's like deleting the files on your computer. Like you have your computer, it worked perfectly fine at the beginning, and then it kind of slows down. Because you have so much data on it, you have so many old programmings that it's slowing it down. We just have to delete all those programmings that we are not using anymore or it doesn't serve us, and we just create that space for new data, new ideas to implement in order for us to create greater. Who doesn't know about conscious mind and subconscious mind? Liar. We think we are conscious, but in reality, very little consciousness we have. And it's showing into our actions, our behaviors, and attitudes. And it's hard to get conscious on our own unless we have done some work to get there. So most of the things they are into our subconscious mind are those things who are leading us from the background. We as human beings, we are functioning from thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And when we function from thoughts, feelings, and emotion, we don't have much clarity, we don't have much choice. We want to be as present and as conscious so we can make different choices from a place of awareness rather from deciding or concluding. And these are some kind of experience some people had with this therapy. And they are my own experience. You can find more on internet with people that they had great results. But what touched me the most were these two cases. This is the baby of my sister. She was trying to get pregnant for 2 or 3 years. She even did a surgery. Even after the surgery, a year later, she could still not get pregnant. But what was blocking her was the fear. because when she was a teenager, she suffered from leukemia. And now she's fine, but somewhere deep down into subconscious mind, the idea that if she might get pregnant, the disease can come back was blocking her from not allowing her body to get pregnant. We just did like 2-3 sessions. A month and a half later, she got pregnant. It's not by chance or coincidence, was something for sure in the air. And another girl was about to commit suicide, which I didn't know. I just sensed that something wasn't well with her. She didn't afford to pay a session, but I still offer and gift her a session. After the session, she was crying and laughing. She said, like, you don't know what you just did for me. It feels like a heavy weight just lifted out of my shoulders. And I feel peaceful and light. She said that she was about to commit suicide. She said, like, you give me a second chance to living. Which at that point, I didn't know if I should be grateful or I should be worried because it was a delicate situation. But I'm grateful that I could be that contribution to her, and she's now fine. Some people don't believe much in energy. They think it's just mumbo jumbo. But there are some studies done by neuroscientist Jeffrey Lenin, and you can actually go on YouTube and look for it after the meeting, and you will see the entire explanation of what it does, the therapy. He was skeptical as well. He used to work with mind maps for 16 years, and he just got the challenge. He wanted to find out what this therapy does. So he studied the brain before and after the session, and even during the session. And the first session, it is before the session. So you can see the red line. What tells you the red by your knowing? Activity. So it's something which is out normal. It's red.
Anxiety.
It could be anxiety as well. So the activity of the brain, it's 4 points higher than normal. And after the session, you see that the red points just clear up. And then the test they did was a different kind of, and same, like the yellow dot there, it's showing the abnormality. And then after the session, it goes to dark. And what was more surprising for me was these ones. Same, it shows the activity of the brain. So activity that your brain needs to concentrate, to have clarity and focus. So your mind is like everywhere. It needs so much power of concentration to give you that clarity and focus. But during the session, as you can see, the brain lights up. It doesn't need as much concentration for you to have that clarity and that focus. And what I got to realize now, after have received so many times this session, that the way I integrate information, it's way easier. I actually get it. As it before, like I needed time to understand what that might mean. Pretty cool, huh? Now we're going to talk about something which is called law of attraction, or the secret, whatever you would like to call it. But before I go there, I would like to add something else on this one, because what he actually did beside the test, he actually spoke with people that they were doing meditation, advanced meditation, or even greater than an advanced meditation. And for an advanced meditation, you need a lot of time to get to that place. And what it says as well in the video, you will find out later, it is that not only it brings your physical in alignment, it actually aligns you to the universe. It actually connects you to the higher power where you can receive the information much more easier, and in the same time, the thoughts that you have, it's sending outside, and your power of manifestation is way quicker. And it actually happened to me. I had this car on the wall for like a year, and in just a year, it just manifested. Of course, you have to make that choice to make it happen, because otherwise it will not happen. But what I want to emphasize in is that we all would like to create greater, right? We all want to expand our business, our life, right?
Yes.
Yeah or not? You don't look convinced. Give me some more excitement that you want to change your life and create it greater. Lovely. Yeah, so it actually helps you with that, because the moment you start deleting all those programmings that you have related to money or relationship or connection or whatever area of your life you might find that you are struggling right now, you can actually double it or quadruple it in intensity. And another way that it actually helps us, this therapy, it helps us to start receiving. Because the idea is like we created so many walls and so many barriers to protect ourselves or whatever the reason might have been. And we're actually behind these walls, and no matter how much the universe would like to gift us, we cannot receive it. Like, we all know the universe is abundant, but how many of us do actually receive that abundance? How many of us do actually feel abundant in our life? And be honest, I didn't feel for long. And access consciousness, it invites us to start functioning from question. It asks us to not decide or conclude what we're going to choose, rather than asking question. If I would choose this, how would my life be like in 5 years? And notice that expansiveness. Is this going to create more for me or not? Because we all are energy, we all are vibration. We just have to tap into that gut feeling that we have, rather than always relying to our mind. Because our mind, as we saw before, is just like a trick, like it goes you into a loop. It doesn't allow you to have clarity with actually what is required for you. Everything is energy. And I truly believe that. We might want to say whatever we would like to say, but in reality, our energy speaks louder than our words. And in order for us to start creating what we would like to create, we have to start being that, what we would like to create. Because we cannot have something if we are not that. And most of us, we function from lack or need. The moment we start functioning from that place, it will never work. We have to align ourselves to what we desire, become that energy, that creative energy. We always, like, did anyone see The Secret? Yeah. So do you remember about the guy that was, or the girl, I don't remember exactly, that was in the car and was like so afraid that it would be late? And you saw like that energy that was standing outside. We're doing that every day. We're doing that every day through our thoughts, feelings, and emotion. How do you control that? Music. Does it work? Sometimes.
Just calms it down, distracts you.
Yeah. But the idea is that they're still there. It's like you're cleaning the house and you just put all the dust under the carpet. It's still there. It didn't go away. You just have to allow them to come to the surface, clear them, send them back to where they came from, send them somewhere else in order for you to actually start creating something else, because it's not enough to just distract yourself or distract your thoughts. They're still there. Yeah. So would you let your car or your house to get to that point? No. Would you do that to your mind, to your energy? Yeah. So what can we do different today? What choice could we take today in order for us to put ourselves first? Because we put everything else first. We put our job, we put our family, our friends, our property, our car, whatever, you name it. You put everything else first. But when are you going to put yourself first? Think about it this way. If you start giving and you give away, would you have something left to give? Like you would give and give, but it's nothing left there. How would that help? Hmm? It will be exhausting. Wouldn't it be easier if you start focusing on yourself and start giving to yourself? And imagine your heart like a cup, and you keep adding, and that cup gets overflowed, and it just like flows away to everyone around you. Flows the energy to your business, to your work, to your family, friends, and all that. And you still have plenty. Would that help?
So you need to start loving yourself.
Hmm?
You need to love yourself.
We all know that, but how many of us truly do that? No,
I love myself.
yeah,
I love myself.
we say that.
Well,
I used to think that. Yeah, I love myself. But in reality, when actually it got to a point where I was so focused on others that I realized I didn't truly love myself. And until the point I truly loved myself, I actually sensed it with my entire being. It's not because we all know so much. I think we all went through different situations. We all went and we know so much. And I go to know that from clients that I work with. We all know, but how much of what we know we actually integrate and apply? I've been to so many events, you can't imagine. But how much did I actually apply of what I knew at the beginning? Now I'm starting to integrate and apply a bit more, maybe not fully, but I still don't integrate it and apply it all. So it's about that. It's not about what we know, but actually what do we do with what we know. And I don't want to contradict you or anything like that.
no, I agree to it because, like you say, even I used to believe the same, I mean, I was exactly same few years back. So when I started practicing loving myself, it's only after practice. It will not happen like immediately. It will take years and years to fall in love. You will see the changes. You will see the paths getting clearer. You will see the
Mm. But how many of us we are in that situation? Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I align with what you're saying because I think that loving yourself was a skill that was not taught to us. You know, like it's something that we hear about. Like I mean, just
Yeah.
people keep telling like, Khalid, what you need to love yourself. What does that mean? Right? So I align with what you're saying and definitely with what
Yeah.
you're saying.
It's just being in allowance with who we are. And the only thing that is actually taking us away from loving ourselves, most of the time we are in the judgment of ourselves. We're always judging ourselves for not being as great. We're not focusing for the things that we are achieving or actually we are taking steps towards, we are always focusing on the things that we haven't done. We're always focusing on that half empty glass. Maybe not all of you. Are you willing to choose you and for you? Yeah. What would you do different if you knew you couldn't fail? Or what would you do if you knew that there are infinite possibilities? Who would you be, what would you do, and what would you have? Would you like to take a moment so we can do an exercise and to tap into that feeling? How does it feel? If we wouldn't have had that limitation or barriers, who would we be? How would that feel? Lovely. Would you like to just close your eyes, get a bit comfortable, and just take a moment to come back in this room and the chair you're sitting in. Connect with everything and anything. Just get a sense of your being and truly connect with it. Just connect with that being. And from that being, I would like you to just expand yourself. Expand yourself to the size of your body. Don't think about it, just do it. Expand yourself to the size of this space and keep expanding more and more. What I would like you to do is, while you're expanding, just take 2 energy balls in front of you. In one of them, you can just release whatever feelings, emotions, thoughts that they're within yourself, who doesn't serve you, who never belong to you. You just bought into this reality as being yours. And just allow them to flow out of your being. All the thoughts, feelings, emotions who are not a contribution to you, all the frustration, anger, upset, self-doubt, self-belief, limitations, just allow them to flow out of your being. And keep expanding more and more. Expand yourself to the size of this building. Expand yourself to the size of Dubai. And keep expanding more and more. Expand yourself to the size of the UAE. And while you're doing that, you just keep flowing the things that are within your body, with your mind, within your energy field that doesn't belong to you. And keep expanding more and more, reaching other continents, reaching oceans and seas, valley and hill. Keep expanding more and more. You expand yourself to the size of the entire earth. You start sensing a bit of more space, more peace, more calmness. You feel lighter because you keep releasing the things that put you down. And keep expanding more and more. Go beyond of your mind. Go beyond this reality, reaching out other planets and constellations and universes. Reach out to the entire universe. Sense the space. Get in touch with the peace, calmness, serenity, tranquility, abundance that is in the universe. And while here in this universe, I would like to just focus on one thing. Who would I be? What would I do? What would I have if everything and anything was possible? If there was be no limitation? What actions would I take? Who would I reach out? What would I create? How would I live my life as? What businesses I would create? Where would I travel? In which house would I live? Which type of car would I drive? Just get the sense of all that is. Use all your senses, visual, feeling, hearing, whatever it works for you. Just get a sense of that reality. And you can add there whatever you would like to. Just tap more and more with that reality. And the moment you get the sense of that reality, I would like you to pull energy from the entire universe in that beautiful and amazing creation. Pull more energy from the universe through your energy ball, through your heart and out to the universe. Allow yourself to expand that creation more and more. Allow yourself to give light and life to that creation. Remember, everything and anything is possible. It's up to you to make it real. And keep pulling energy more and more from the universe through their energy ball, through your heart, and back to the universe. And get a sense of that being. Get a sense of how does it feel like. And just allow yourself to send trickles of energy to all those people, all those places, all those situations, courses, events, businesses, whatever might be for you to connect with and receive and create that reality. Just be with that for a moment. Get the excitement, get the joy of that creation. And just allow it to grow bigger and bigger within your higher self, within your heart, within your being. Just allow it to grow more and more. Whenever you're ready, whenever you fill up your heart with those feelings and emotions, you can slowly come back to this seat, this room, with more energy, more excitement, more joy. How was it? Did you enjoy it? Now, I would like to ask few people if they want to speak about their experiences with the bars or with working with me or anything like that, if they feel comfortable. Yeah?
I'm very relaxed now. Good evening, everybody. My name is Roxana, and I met Monica a few months ago. When after trying, I do meditate for a long time and practice yoga as well, but I always fight with obsessive thoughts and thinking, and mostly all of them were negative. So I found myself into a loop of thinking the same thoughts, and until a point it was unbearable. So I found out about Monica. I joined one of her sessions first, and next day I felt something that I never felt before from no meditation of yoga. It was a sense of emptiness, clear thoughts, clear mind, thoughts, positive this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Betty, do you want to say something?
It's more clear, more, you can see the stars. That was the feedback that I got from my friends. And I found myself more relaxed and I can enjoy the life and everything like never before.
Thank you. Vrei să zici ceva? Nu. Only if you want.
Yeah, why not?
Be the star.
Hi.
Shine.
Everyone tells me I'm funny, so this is my first step to becoming, how do you call it, a stand-up comedian. No, okay.
You can stand if you want.
It's alright, let's just stand there. I know Monica for a very long time, a few years back. Those years when she was telling you about how shy she was, how she wouldn't like to talk in front of people like I don't right now. But I look at her and I see a great change in her. So I knew there's something she's doing. I knew there's something good she's doing. And I avoided for a long time to know exactly what this thing is. Out of fear or greatness, probably, like maybe most of us. Till one day, when after a long string of life, slapping me from left to right, and anyways, Monica reached out actually. She said, "You keep on coming back into my thoughts, and I don't know why, but I think you're struggling with something, and I'm here for you." And I said, "Oh, interesting. Thanks." And another bad thing happened to me, and then another one, and I was like just so low, and I was like, you know what? From here, I don't know I can go any lower, so let's just try it. So I messaged her. I went and I've seen her, and after that, I was telling her, "Oh, this happened and this happened," and she's like, "Okay, let's just run the talk." Yeah, I don't need to know. It's not like in a whatever you're saying it's nonsense, but like in the way of like I can help in a better way than you just expressing these bad things. So after that, I just felt so much lighter and, as the lady said, so much more clarity. I do think that I do have a negative mind, my programming or whatever that was, from all my experiences. So it is a long road for me, but I'm happy that I know someone that's willing to walk it with me or just give me the direction. Yeah, that night, when I went back to my car, I had a fun, and guess what? It didn't upset me. So I was like, "Oh, this is great. This is my fun, and it's okay." Yeah, but anyway, it changed a lot the way I look at life and the way I look at things, and it's a great tool to have. And I've actually did the course, and I'm very happy that I hopefully can be a contribution to others as well. But yeah, just have your cars run.
That's lovely. Thank you. They were very brave. Neither of them wanted to speak before, so for them was a huge step. Betty, I remember she was telling, like, I wasn't willing to meet people that I wouldn't know, and today to come and speak, and even Roxana and Delia, thank you very much, girls. I really appreciate that. It's not much to say that this thing is really great, and it's not because I say so, it is because it is. I'm not gonna tell you much. I'm just going to tell you when are the next workshops I'm going to have. So this is what access bars. They are just few things you can get out of it. Deep relaxation, you improve your manageability to depression, anxiety, easy shift of negative thoughts, and all the other stuff like communication, interaction with others. You become less reactive to situation or people. You get a greater sense of lightness, and you actually enjoy more life. You start actually living, which happened to me. And another thing which I do is something still with energy, which is called energetic facelift. Many of the people, including myself, we have have a lot of judgments about our bodies, about aging, what we should experience based on different stages of our age. And I remember I had these thoughts when I was actually a very young lady. I don't know where that thought came, but I was like, I don't want to get old. I was like, I want to die early. I want to die young because I couldn't imagine myself like having those hangings. I, and I don't know, it's funny how the universe direct me towards the things that could actually help me to slow it down or accept or be in allowance with what is actually happening. And I know a lot of us or a lot of people out there, they are going through some kind of surgicals or which is very invasive to the body, which your body doesn't enjoy, doesn't benefit from it. And the idea is like it's not about how you look, it's actually how you feel in your body, which is actually making the difference. Because no matter how much would you improve yourself in the outside look, there would still be judgments about you, the way you look or anything else. So I guess we all want to be more confident into our body and into our life. No, it's gone.
Oh, mushrooms.
Mushrooms. We don't have the dog anymore. So yeah, we have 2 days for each of the classes. You can let me know if you are interested. I will be more than happy to take your registrations. I created some more empty slides. What I did, so all the tools are based on access consciousness tools, which are questions or other types of tools that actually helps us to get clear with what are our beliefs and consideration about different types of areas in our life. So we all have considerations about money. The very common excuse that we all find out is like, I don't have the money, which in reality, what we're actually sending to the universe is actually we're lacking and we're creating more of that. Whenever you're not choosing something, just be truthful to yourself. Don't try to find any excuses or resonate your choice, because that choice starts dictating your future and you don't want that. You just say, I'm not choosing it right now, and that's okay. But whenever you find the reason, then you create the reason. Same in business. We all have some ideas of what business is and it isn't. And for me, for a long time, business wasn't one of my ideas. It wasn't something that I was looking to do because of the programming I had. I didn't see myself more than an employee. So that actually caused me not to think of that, which thankfully I overcome it. Or you can choose to work one-on-one with me if you be interested, if not any other of the classes. And the time for you to choose you is now, regardless if you're going to choose any of the classes or to work with me. The time to choose you, to create greater in your life, it's now. And I was speaking with Agnieszka earlier, and she was saying that she's procrastinated. But in reality, I don't believe in procrastination. I used to believe in procrastination, but actually it's not that. It's either we're not in alignment with who we are, with our purpose, and therefore we're actually slowing ourselves down, or we're not taking some action. So the idea is to get clear with what we truly desire, because there's no procrastination. It's just you're not in the flow, so you want to get into the flow. So I hope you enjoyed this evening. Thank you very much for being willing and open to receive the information, and have fun.